as promised, it has been delivered.
Yeah,
As
there's some
promised, it has been.
progress.
It's like it took me about 6 months,
That's all right.
but I always I always get there in the end. I might do it very, very slowly, but I always
Yeah,
get there in the
absolutely. You gotta be
end.
persistent.
So, so yeah, it's it's like last chance. It was like do or die. It's like and the crazy nature of coincidence, right? So I was walking across town this morning, thinking, got to. I was thinking I got to get in touch with Victor about tonight. And who should come walking at exactly the same point in the other
Wow,
direction?
Victor.
Victor.
Wow.
Yeah, and there's a town like of like 70,000 people, and where paths cross at exactly the
Wow.
same point this morning, walking
Wow,
across
that's
town.
amazing.
That's just wild. That's just wild. So it's great the way that it all came together with that. Right. Have people got like a tiny bit of extra time to update us, or what's everyone's situation?
I only have a tiny bit of time, like a real tiny bit of time, a few minutes. But I know, Graham, you've been very active this
Okay.
week, so I'd love to hear what you're working with and how we can help you. And Rudy, you too, if you like.
Okay. Um, my update is that I'm ending the I'm ending the research phase and going into the construction phase. Now, I think I've got about as much information as my brain can handle about things that work and things that don't work. I am really, really not convinced yet, because it's a big, there's always a big yet with me, that I can funnel people into a course through Facebook. I started this Facebook group, which was originally called um, Skype coaching for English teachers in Slovakia. I then changed it and removed the Slovakia because I was like, that's just pointless putting in Slovakia. I thought it would be better to focus. But then when I wasn't getting much traction on the in Slovakia, I just dropped it and made it all general and went online and tried to communicate with people in other forums and see if other people would be interested in using digital technology. And the the feedback I've the feedback that I've got back is uh, it's like I don't even know how to describe it. It very slow, very obvious. Um, and Rudy's going to appreciate this, but a lot of people asking me useless questions, right? I've got these high expectations and high standards from people's questions, and the questions I'm getting are like, how do I find information about innovation and technology in teaching? I imagine, like, have you tried Google? I just don't know if I can deal with this level of communication.
Here's
Yes.
$1 million crazy idea. So that he got to practice his English, and I've never heard that before in my life. What if you set up a thing where people can, like, I would love to talk to him and talk like the same thing we discussed, and I can help him with my English. So what if you set up people in Slovakia with American people? I don't know. It's
Um,
crazy.
it's a great idea.
It's wild.
Um, there, I think I'm stuck in the middle in between how big do I go and how small do I stay in terms of ideas, right? And I think we all know that focus is key. Don't try to cast too big a net and catch too much, but really really um, focus on the niche market that you want to look at.
Mhm.
And um, so well, I started this Facebook group. I got about 50 members with the idea of using them as a way to help them on one side and to kind of data mine and get opinions about what people think works and what doesn't work. But I'm getting this feeling that there's just a lot of lost people out there looking for direction, and I'm kind of wanting to charge forward and meet other people who are innovating and using technology in terms of communication and developing things. But everyone else just seems to be, well, I'd like to, I've got a few more papers to write and I need to sit in my office and write these papers. I'm just like, oh, fuck the papers, change the world. and, um, and it doesn't seem to work like that from
How did
the that
how did
classical
you get those
perspective.
50
But
people?
I am members already of some sites online, and I went onto those sites and said, I'm doing this over here. It's a classic. I'm doing this over here. Um, it might or might not be interesting for you. If you've got any questions, just pop over and I'll be happy to answer them for you. So I don't know. Is that stealing clients from other people's sites, perhaps?
Yes.
Well, they just telling them there's another site, there's another page available where they can get specific
Well,
information about
you're
coaching online
actively
through technology.
soliciting, which on some sites is a no-no, but um, it just depends on the group. And for the most part, I don't think half the groups care. It's like individual topics, that don't really cross paths or specifics on things that someone's not going to get into. But some people have a no solicitation clause. Because I started my Facebook group for the trainers, and the only thing I'm doing right now is inviting like you can invite individual friends, which is what I'm doing now. But you can, I think you can do that soft solicitation thing. Like even in Freedom, saying this is what I do, this is the type of marketing I'm doing, and you're obviously showing the message you're getting across. So you may have people that actually want to join your group because you're displaying what it is you're doing and they're interested in it. So I think as long as it's not overtly solicitation, I think most groups are okay with, because you're trying to share information and resource. It's like if you're sharing your resource, I think most people would appreciate that.
Well, I'm putting things that I don't. I I get the feeling that. And I'm not saying this as a positive thing. I get the feeling that I'm so far ahead of what everyone else is doing that in order to make any connections, I need to do a Trump, which is tone down my message to a base level, which is I think what he does in his speeches. He can't say exactly what he knows or what he thinks or give an intellectual message in most speeches. So it's all kind of emotional, instinctive, primitive, primitive base ideas that are that are put out there. Um, I I signed up for Google Alerts in education and innovation in Slovakia. Of course, there are no alerts because there's no education or innovation in Slovakia. Um, I read, except for me, I just be alerting myself to everything I post. Uh, so I did that. Going back through my daily plans now. I got a lot of study notes, been working on pricing, been working on doing, oh, I got a I got a good idea for working with students in the school, which actually works. Um, I, two headsets connected to my mobile phone, recording the audio of a one-to-one session, and then giving it to students afterwards as a permanent recording of the session they can take with them everywhere. Never been done before, as far as I know. right? So one of the problems with education is that the session gets the information gets lost and people have to repeat everything. But this way, you create the course as you go. You're building the course as you go, and the students never lose the information, and they always get to repeat every session, and it's specially designed for them. That would be kind of like, I guess, Rudy filming a training session that he was giving someone specifically, and at the end of it saying, "Here's your
Yeah.
specific training session just for you," and giving it to them. And with technology, it's great. I just sit down at the table, plug everything in, hit the record the session, put it in my computer, and then copy it to their phone, and they can go around with it. They get the whole session in their phone, um, which I think is just incredible thing to do, basically. Um, so. Um, so I've been experimenting as usual with bits of audio and video and how I can integrate that into my session. Experimented with another podcast idea, the Drivecast, recording that in my car. The idea is to make it as simple and easy as possible. So I just get in my car, stick a headset on, record as I'm driving, and then when I get to the office, I upload it to the internet. Um, so that it takes as little time as possible and I don't have to think about it. With the idea that that's going to, like you said with Google, I realized now, only now after Rudy's been going on about things, like it took me about 3 months as always, that the posts that are going up, the videos that I'm putting on YouTube with the tags are going to draw people to my work because people are going to find that when they look for education and development and coaching and things. And I'm putting up like 2 videos a day, which uh, which I think is
Yeah,
quite a high
that's huge.
content rate. Yeah. Um, so that's basically I'm mic'd up everywhere I go now. I just go around with the mic and and the headset, and I'm wired into my phone. And whenever I'm doing a session, I just hit record and record the session. Um, so I'm making a record of my work at the same time.
Well, just
So
like
hopefully I
Victor
don't
was
have to do
saying,
things twice.
and we've been talking about content, and that's the thing right now. Content is key. Not the fancy flash graphics, none of that. Content. That's what everybody wants. Facebook wants content.
Yeah, yeah.
Like they'll
Simple little things. I just pick.
like for your ads on Facebook. It's like your ads will run more often if they're content heavy. If there's something valuable for somebody to learn, whether it's an infographic or an inspirational saying or a tutorial video, they will run a lot more than just an advertisement to send a consumer to your website. Facebook wants the content to always be heavier, even if people are paying the same price for their advertising. They'll expose the content ads a lot more than the normal ads. So get your
Okay. Simple little things that pull in traffic that I should have done before, but I didn't because I kind of knew it existed, but I didn't want to do it. But now I need to do it. It's like taking like I did today, like took a selfie with different students, and then touch up the image, put it on my Facebook, and then tag the
yeah.
student in the image so that all of the students' friends on Facebook will go to my
Yeah,
page to
sweet.
see the we'll go to my page to see which image they're tagged in. Basically, I mean that's an incredibly simple little tool, but very powerful. So I'm working on doing things with that. I've just had explosion after explosion after explosion of things happening this week. It's crazy. It's crazy with the uploads of student sessions and experimenting with the podcast and finishing the research, going through the case studies, and getting ready next week to start on construction of the website. But I have one question, and I think I know the answer, but I want to run it by you. One quick question, which is it better to have a site a membership site specifically for teachers because I have these four ideas. It's like, is it better to have four individual sites, one for teachers, one for students, one for parents, and one for individuals for coaching, personal development? Or is it better to have one site with those four courses available on one site because people might move from one course to other course on the same site? Or is it better just to have an absolute focus of just one membership site with one thing only? What's better?
I think it depends because say with Ryan Lee's site, you know, the freedom.com, it's similar subject matter, but it's all different aspects of it. So he feels it's like, you know, he calls it the Netflix of info, online info marketing. Uh, so yeah, I mean, it's all just in one site now. He's consolidated everything he's done to this format, which, you know, he sees apparently is working really well. He's doing pretty well with it. So I would, I because you're only one person, I would think just one website. That way, like trying to maintain four different websites is going to be a pain in the ass. It's like if you have all your people going to one site, you'll be able to find out quicker what confuses them, what turns them off, what they view. You know, you're going to be able to concentrate on just on going to that one website and refining it rather than trying to refine four different websites. You know, I think once you get better at it, maybe you could do that. But I think for now, one website with all four things that do have some crossover, probably a little easier. So
Yeah, I think I agree with that. You know, I mean, I mean, it's yeah, I agree with that. It's rare. Actually, let me think on that. I'm just thinking because I mean, it's rare for whatever company anyone goes to have different sites. It's like let's take Apple. I mean, they don't have. It's Apple. They have their iPad there. Whatever else, their iPhone, but they don't have an iPad site. They don't have the site. So yeah, I have to agree with Rudy.
I mean, it kind of goes back to what I was talking to you about last Tuesday. Is they're coming for you. So you should be this. You know, you should be the why, the center, and then you have your different teachings. You know, after that, the hows and the whats. You know, extended from there, just like Johnny was saying. You know, with Apple, like they advertise who they are, and then they advertise what they're going to sell you, and it's different things. So I'm still on the, I'm still very into the
Yeah, exactly.
that golden circle thing. I think it makes the most sense for small businesses. You have to sell yourself, and it's like you if people know, like, and trust you, whatever you're selling them is going to be a lot easier to sell than to try and sell features of something and then convince them to buy it after the fact, even though they don't know you, and then get to know you after. I think it's getting to know you first and then selling them all the different things that you want to sell them. Like with my Facebook thing with the 22 Social, that's basically what I'm doing. My website is basically static. It's there. It shows some videos and it's got what it needs to. But despite what Victor's saying, but he kind of boosted me up at the very end. You know, Facebook may die in 5 years, but for now, it's like it's fine. It's like, and he said in the end, like for my demographic, he said they'll probably stay there for till it dies. So um, I'm putting everything like my trainer tutorials and my fitness studio are the same page. Like everything's Rudy's Health and Fitness, but it's a different tab. It's a whole different, like the way 22 Social does it. It's a completely different aspect of Rudy's Health and Fitness that people go to for the the trainer coaching. So it's easier for me to just work on Facebook, like Victor was saying. It's like pick one platform and get really good at it. Don't spread yourself thin. So I'm just working on Facebook, getting everything organized there, all my information for the gym, for the trainer tutorials, and then working on Facebook ads for both of them. So I would say go ahead and just concentrate on the one website, and then when you're ready, you feel like you need to add a different website, go from there.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I'm also 50-50 with the new Facebook page that I set up. I don't want to get hooked in on Facebook and spending more time on Facebook. And now I've just set up a page to see what people are interested in, and now I have to spend my time answering questions, which are some of which are not the most intelligent things that.
But that's just it. That's what I'm
that
get with you, Graham. It's like this is the consumer base that may not be able to give you $1,000 because you're going to be their guru now. But if you answer their simple questions in 2, 3, 4, 5 years, they're going to be giving you money because you answered their simple questions. It's like, okay, Graham, and he thought it was a simple question. For me, it was a huge question. But because he answered it, I now understand a lot more. So I'm going to go back to Graham's resources and ask him something maybe more specific that impresses him more, you know, until I get to that spot where it's like, okay, I am now making more money. I'm now more successful. And Graham's offering this $1,000 tutorial mentorship. And he's answered my small questions since the very beginning. So, I'm going to go ahead and pay him $1,000. I just think you have to let those little seeds grow to a point. Like you can read all the questions, say, okay, well they're asking very simple things. Let me do a Facebook Live, answer all the simple questions, and boom, it's taken care of in a half hour to an hour's broadcast. And you've asked, because that's what 22 Social does. People keep asking the same questions. How do I get from one of my normal Facebook page to my sales page? Literally, that's usually asked 30% of the time, and they ask the same and they answer it all the time. Because I get the same thing. How do I lose fat? How do I lose weight? How do I lose weight? It's the same thing. It's like we all know
would
there's
drive
a
me
thousand
crazy.
books. It's like like it's obvious to me, but it's like they want my answer because they're going to give me money so that I can help them with their problem. So that's what you have to look at it that way. It's like answer the simple question because that's going to generate the relationship where they're going to eventually give you money.
That's that's key. That makes sense. What you said, they want my
Yeah,
answer. That's the key phrase. They want my answer. They don't want anybody else's answer. They're not in anybody else's system. They're not asking to believe in anybody else. They want
you got it.
my answer. And that applies to all of us in the
Yeah.
jobs that we do. They come to us because they want our answer. Because it means something to them.
That's what I'm saying. Because you were last Tuesday like, well, why do they need to know about me? Because they need to trust who's giving them that answer. Like, you know, you can get as touchy feely as you want or not, but there has to be you have to explore that why, because that's what they're gonna know. Like, why am I asking Graham? Because Graham feels this way about this, this, and this, and I trust him because I kind of feel it resonates with me how he feels about these things, or gosh, Graham thinks half the people out there are dumb, and he's really smart, so I'm going to try and ask him my dumb question. If he answers it, he at least is acknowledging that I am trying to get to his intellectual level. So, and he's being very polite and nice about it. So I'm going to continue to follow him. And in 5 years, I'm going to pay him $5,000 a month for his
Yeah, I'm
mentorship.
just, I'm just, I'm just not you, mate. I'm just not you.
Hey guys, sorry. Hey,
Like I gotta need
I
some.
gotta go.
Yeah,
I gotta
Johnny.
go. Sorry, I gotta jump in and say I gotta go.
Johnny, we look forward to you giving us
So
daily posts on your
thank
progress
you.
if
This is
possible.
amazing. Thank you very much.
All right.
Take care, mate.